Today we are starting on Vastu Shastra, or the science of sacred geometry, that how the different shapes, color, elements, metals can work on us, or it resonate with us, or it forms us more. It helps us in our progression in our daily life. It's an ancient science. It's not now it's developed. It's many years. You still see there in many countries there are old architecture. It's still alive. It's still standing strong. It's been built 5,000 years old, 10,000 years old. So what science they had, and how did they made that structure? How did they understood the air, water, fire? How did they manage the temperature outside? How did they manage the flow? There was no air conditioners before. How did they learn this? How did they implemented this with the use of metals or minerals around them? Because that was easily available at that time. So understanding the sacred geometry, how these shapes and everything has been inculcated into the building, because we live in the building. The building is a part of our life cycle. 30% energy comes from the body, 33% comes from the buildings we live in, and 33% comes from the universe. So aligning all three is our series. Now, the God has created a golden ratio. What is golden ratio is like Fibonacci series. When you go and see how many, anything which is attractive, it's on a golden ratio, 1.16. It's a formula, it's a calculation, it's a mathematics. If you see a flower, it's a beautiful looking flower. If you take the length and breadth and divide with the golden ratio, you'll get anything which is coming near to that golden ratio will resonate the attraction from the world and universe automatically. And no doubt, there are many corporate companies as well who design their logo, who design their colors based on the golden ratio. That golden ratio is also applicable in the houses we make. There is a very old traditional science called temple Vastu or Ayadi Vastu. In that, you understand that how the temple architecture is nothing less than an engineering course. Every page is like a big formulas that how to put the pillars, the calculation of the pillars, the calculation of the ceiling, the calculation of the walls, the distance of the rooms, the bed positions, the size of the bed, the round or circular or triangle, the shapes matter. Have you ever thought that why all the cricket stadiums are round or oval? Have you ever thought why married couples' bed is always round when they show, for all the kings, especially when it was a time, kings used to have round beds? Have you ever thought that why TV screens or all the electronic devices are mostly black and gray only, not anything else? So this is all the science. This science was written by our sages. It's written in our Vastu Shastra, and it's been used by even the gods. How does the god become god? Because they needed some, houses to live in. The houses were made by Vishkarma ji. We celebrate that day because he knows the science of architect. Then the gods also needed, these spaces are called alchemy spaces or aligned spaces or consecrated spaces because it's been designed to develop them. It's been designed by the owner, that who is the king, how that king will rule the empire. It's been designed by that way. It's been, you would say it's been planned that way for their victories. And then the god also needs the weapon. So these weapons are also designed. These weapons each weapon are made of different metals and minerals based on the element of the god. So, they were tuned to this science. They were tuned, then only they become the gods. Then next they need vehicles. The vehicles are also designed by metal, colors, shapes, and different angles. Then coming back to their clothes, what they were wearing, that colors and that elements which they are wearing on their body. Some are wearing gold on their body, some are wearing silver metal on their body, some are wearing black clothes, some are wearing green clothes. This all gods are, design their clothes based on the elements they are coming it from. So it's a complete science. It's a complete 360-degree science. And we're going to decode that science today, that how you can use this knowledge and make your premises the energy balance in that, how you can lift your space, how you can energize your space. And, this knowledge has been, holded it back only for the kings. It's not been passed down to normal people or the entire people, because they do not want it at that time that all the people who understand this will become the king. So But today, this knowledge is available. You can Google it, but it's available in tits and bits and parts and here. No consolidated data has been given that there is a sacred geometry. This knowledge can be used by even the people who are like homeowners or females at the home or office owners. It can be used by the interior designer and decorators. It can be used by the yoga and healers who are healing their clients. It can be used for many, many purposes because it really works. It's an age-old science. That how did all this 5,000, 10,000 years architect is still standing? What was the reason? When I start decoding it to you, you'll understand surprisingly that, even the stones, they put it there. The stone also has a male and female. The wood also has a male and female. So they understand the knowledge of it and then they implemented it and it becomes a strong structures which are still standing today. So for me, Vastu is an architectural science. It's a science based on sacred geometry and the golden ratio and principles, how to design, how to lay out, how to do measurement, how to do ground preparation, how to do space arrangement, how to do space programming. It's like you have a computer programming, it's called space programming. Let space work for you rather than you struggle with the space or you're not growing from that space. You can even manifest through the spaces. That's the highlight of this entire knowledge. So let's explore, step by step. See, our Earth is a magnetic field. Earth is a little tilted. It's not straight. So true north is little tilted towards the northeast. Similarly, our body also has electromagnetic field like a spiral wires, but it's also aligned to the true north, little tilted. So going with these principles and the Vastu principles, in every property, in any layout you are in, the head is aligned towards tilted north. It means tilt towards northeast. So any property you walk in, any layout or diagrams you pick up, you will first see where is the northeast of the property because that's where our head or the body is aligned. And the legs goes to southwest of that direction. So the head is aligned to northeast and the legs goes to southwest. And the left shoulder is towards the north and the right shoulder is towards the east. Similarly, the left knee is towards the northwest and the right knee is towards the southeast. When we place this diagram, when we understand this picture, we'll be able to decode spaces and body, the chakras, the spine, the marma points, the vata, pitta. Many things can be decoded just from this diagram. So let's go in deep details that how many zones we have. What is the compass? Let's look at the compass first. That what does compass do? When you put the compass, you get the 4 major directions: north, south, east, west. When we draw it as a cross, you will get the 90 degree of each. North to east is 90 degree. It cannot be straight here. This is north and this is east. No, it has to be 90 degree. It cannot be angular to 25 degree or 45 degree, it has to be 90 degree. Same way the clock will move. 90 from east to south is again 90, then south to west is again 90 and west to north back again is 90 degree. That's how the first 4 cardinal directions has been defined. These are the 4 cardinal directions. Then we divide these 4 cardinal directions into 45. So it becomes 8 directions. And then we again divide that into more sub-cardinal directions. Then it becomes 22.5 degree. In the Shastras, these degrees and these deities are placed in certain directions at that particular point. It's not about roughly east. It's not about roughly north. It's about where is the exact north? Where is the exact east? That point. Now, east can also have 2 angles, starting and ending of east. North can also have 2 angles, starting of the north and ending of the north. Where exactly the element needs to be placed? Where exactly the element is forming or dissolving? So we need to understand this cycle in length. The people who are in real estate, for them, this knowledge, they just, because the client comes and asks them, we only need north, we only need south. But if you know the little bit of basics of these 16 elements around it or 16 zones around it, you'll be able to sell your property very easily. You'll be able to convince it very easily because we're going to give you the practical tool. Just any layout you have, before you show to the client, you will have the layout and just in a Word file, you can place the compass on it and you can easily decode what is the main door, where is the kitchen, and you can get your sales going faster by just using this tool in just roughly 5 minutes of your time, and it will really help your sales and save your time to you and your clients. So let's decode how many zones we have. So in total, there are 16 zones. The first zone is northeast. Now this zone is connected to, the energy of this zone is self and God. Anything related to self-knowledge and relationship with you and God comes from northeast. If northeast is disturbed, the person is not in his senses. The person is living a life of somebody else. He doesn't know his true potential. He's not utilizing his skills. He's not utilizing his capacity to the best. So northeast is the direction where it gives the relationship between self and the God. We're going to go more in detail. What does each zone gives? If it is balanced, imbalanced, we're going to talk about that. Next zone is east northeast. This zone gives friends, recreational stuff, enjoyment, joy, happy-go-lucky. And if it is imbalanced, it's going to give you like you're earning, running horse, but you don't enjoy your own money. Even it gives the social connections. It gives the name, fame. It gives the government contracts. East, next direction. It is about society. It is about your office departments, about your managements around you. East, southeast. This is for unlawful relationships, all extramarital relationships, in-laws, problems, court, legal issues, all things come from here. Miscommunications, commitment failures come from this zone. Southeast, domestic helpers, cleaners, washers, money and honey, both comes from southeast. South-southeast, siblings, your brother and sisters, relatives, influential people, and police department comes from south-southeast. It gives power and confidence to us. South, neighboring society. If anybody has a trouble from the neighbors, this zone needs to be checked. South-southwest, wastage, enemy, sweepers. Problems come from here. Southwest, relationship with your parents, relationship with your spouse, relationship with your children, relationship with your customers, relationship with your partners. All relationships come from southwest. West southwest, technical and skilled employees and staff comes from west southwest. When you're designing your office, put your staff in west southwest. You don't need to manage them. They will be loyal and they'll be working at their best. West, teachers, guru, friends, suppliers, contractors come from west direction. West northwest, it's very good zone for counselors and doctors. You can heal anyone from here. Northwest, it gives support system in our life. Banking support, support from staff, support from work partners, support from funding. Every kind of support comes from northwest. Northwest, it's an attraction zone. Anything you keep here, you start getting attracted towards it. If you keep books, you'll start reading books. If you see wrong magazine, you'll start going there. So it's also the zone for extramarital and outside sex. North, customers, client, money, opportunities, new ideas, and flow. Northeast is for healers and doctors to sit and give the best medicines to you. Now, this is the relationship of each zone. If any client comes and they tell you that I have problem with my partners, you know northwest to check. If they say I'm getting fines from the government again and again, east to be checked. If they say my friends are always cheating me, east northeast to check. If they say I'm confused, I don't know what to do, northeast, the self and God is missing. The connection is not there. If they say my brothers are not giving me property, I'm not getting anything out of my ancestral property, or my wife is fighting with me, my children are not listening, southwest, relationship zone. If they say the employees are not up to the mark, west, southwest to be seen. So every zone, every degree. Now, this is very easy format which we have created, but when we go and read Shastra, it tells us element, it tells us senses, it tells us which chakra, it also tells us which god and deity sitting here, which is the marma point or Ayurveda point sitting here, which can be healed. So, all this is a very simplified form. Now, let's explain the same 16 zones in their attribute, means what they do. Northeast is self and God. It gives clarity of thoughts and peace of mind. So when you're connected to yourself and God, you have peace of mind, and you have clarity. So people with anxiety, people with depression, sadness, northeast to be cleared. East northeast is for social connections and enjoyment. So people who are not able to enjoy their money, their wives complain, my husband doesn't take me anywhere, or they doesn't give me time, or they are always working. This zone is not balanced. East is for social connections and government orders. East Southeast is for churning and anxiety. This is a very beautiful zone. People think that, when I teach the students, they said, okay, we'll not sit in East Southeast. We will not sit there. We will block that room, or we will not use that room. No, churning is required. Digestion is required. It's a zone of a mixer. If you doesn't mix, you won't be able to get the fruit out of it. Like, for example, in old time, they used to churn the milk. Then milk, they'll make the butter, then butter to paneer, cottage cheese, and then from cottage cheese, they're making cream. Then they're going to make the desi ghee out of it. And then in the last, they're going to make the sweet giver out of it. Same thing, they're using the same again and again and again and again and bringing the result. If this zone is balanced, you don't have to find new customers. Same customer will repeat to you. They will come and come and come. It's like churning is on. They're going to come. They're not going to go anywhere. So it's a very, very valid zone when people, and this is also a zone of confusion because it's mixing. It's like churning all the time. It's like how we used to roll the wheat before. If it is balanced, it's going to give you the money from the same clients from year in years. So this is a very important zone. If it is imbalanced, people flip out. Unlawful relationships, problems with in-laws, unethical things starts working on it. Southeast, cash and liquidity. Simple. Cash and liquidity, paying to the money, paying to the helper, or they are doing theft in your home, or they are robbing something. When you have extra money, they'll rob. When you don't give money, they don't work. So problem comes from domestic helps when cash and money is not there. And your wife or your partner, if money is not there, the relationship will not long for lost in nowadays. South-Southeast is for power and confidence. If you're feeling lack in power and confidence, put your picture in South-Southeast or clear the South-Southeast. Remove the anti-element from South-Southeast. South, neighbor and society. South is also for meditation. The electromagnetic field starts from the north and goes to the south. Force of electromagnetic field. The effect of electromagnetic field is little low. And it's very peaceful. So that's why they say you do not put your head towards north or northeast to sleep because the electromagnetic pulse starts from there. When it starts, it's like a very heavy on the head. It's like electric shock. But when it rested down, put your head towards that because you will sleep well. This is a very good zone for meditation also. If you're not able to meditate and you want to meditate for a long time, sit south of your home and open the compass, see the south, sit down in the south and you will be able to meditate more because there is no electric field which is pulling us up. We are there's a gravity down and we are sitting on the gravity. So we are more down. We are not getting disturbed or pulled up. So south is a very good direction. South also gives you stability as well. So if south is disturbed, the stability doesn't come. South-southwest, it's very important. Wastage and expenditure. Now, some of my students says, oh, we will not use this zone. South-southwest, if we sit here, we'll be wasted or our efforts will be wasted. True, it will be. But if you use this zone properly, there is nothing in the life which God has created which is for no reason. Everything is made for a reason and it has a positive aspect as well. South-southwest zone is very good for releasing the waste from your body. So anybody who wants to detox, put all their proteins or teas and green teas in South-southwest and sit and drink there. If you sit in South-southwest for 10 minutes every day, all unwanted stuff, all unwanted experiences, arguments in office, you'll be able to release it off. It is a let go zone. You easily forgive people. If this is blocked, you keep anger in yourself. You keep dwelling it or you keep storing it. I will tell him later. When my time will come, then I will tell later. So it's like you're storing a lot in your body. So the waste has to go. It has to be open. You cannot block the waste and you cannot do this. Now in homes, we can use it for storing, foods which help us in digestion and everything. Also, it's a zone for sitting for 10 minutes to let go everything. But if it is a commercial space, We tell the clients to open the door from there, because if it is a bar, club, restaurant, anything, people will come and waste more money there. So it's a business for the client. So they will get more business. Client has a space, and it's possible we design their bar space or their expensive food items. We keep it there so that it gets wasted, or client buy more and waste more money on it. So it's useful both the ways, but when you look at from the top, it's a wasteful expenditure. See, sometimes we do expenditure, but we need to be balanced here. There is a deity and a goddess here, which gives us intelligence that even if you put money, you will be able to make the 3 times out of it. So this is a balanced and good and bad frequency, both at the same places there. Now, Southwest, very important, relationships. Problems in marriage life, problems in understanding, problems in working partners, any relationship with outside world. If it is not going good, your sweeper, your helper, your partner, your driver, your car is not supporting, home, anything is this zone to be looked after. When you look at the Vastu Purush layout, the head and the foot ends here. So it gives the stability. If your foot is not strong, you'll not be able to communicate with the outer world. And if your head is full of heavy stuff, you'll not be able to get up or do the work. So this spine needs to be clear. West Southwest, technical and employees and staff. This West Southwest is a direction for space element. So, you want to expand. That's how you hire staff, right? And you want staff to help you in expansion, not you sitting and helping the staff more. So it represents the space element, and that helps in savings, educating them. You educate one, give them training one, and they should be able to execute by themselves. This is the zone of education. In Shastras, they always say, do not hire more people. It's written there, do not hire more people. Upgrade your existing people skills. Because that will be a long-term approach, because you upgraded them, they're going to stay with you for long, and they're going to bring the best of their skills. If you know that this skills is best in them and this can be polished more, learn how to get the diamonds, learn how to check the diamonds and polish them further. West direction, it's for profit and gains. Profit and gains, it's also a relationship with teacher, guru, friends, and supplier. How do you gain? From where? Your parents? From your siblings? You gain from your friends? From suppliers, from outside world. So profit and gains comes from here. And if the blessing is good, they'll help you and you will be able to save more money. But if you are in a wrong company, you will lose all your profits and gain and finish all your savings. West Northwest, it's a beautiful zone again for counselors. It's a zone of depression and anxiety. Again, my student says it's not good zone. It's opposite to anxiety and churning, east, southeast. I always tell them no. They both are linked. It's like a dark tunnel. If anybody able to go inside the dark tunnel because he's sad, angry, depressed, any worriness, he's inside the tunnel. But if the counselor is good, he will sit here in this zone and bring that person out of that tunnel into white light. And that is the zone of West Northwest. Now Northwest, it's for support system, support from the bank, support from financial institution, funding support, all kinds of support comes from this zone. Northwest, it's a attraction zone. As I said, if it is a commercial shop, if it is any place, commercial place or home, we tell them to put their pictures there so that everybody is attracted to each other. Or if it is a place where if it is your commercial office, place your products there, any files there. Whatever you keep there will start selling more. So try keeping it. Just keep one picture or take a printouts of what you want to achieve or what you want to get or what you want to sell. Place it there, it'll start getting sell. North, opportunities, customer, clients comes from north direction. In northeast is for healers and doctors. And there is a god deity sitting over there. The name is Dhanvantari God. This is the god of Ayurveda. He originated Ayurveda. He written all the books on Ayurveda. And then that's how the knowledge is gone to us. we all celebrate International Ayurveda Day or international days, but we don't know that this is the day when God Dhanvantari was born, and he has given the books to us, which is helping all the humankind today to balance their doshas and Ayurvedas. But the placement of this deity is in northeast. You keep medicines over there in your home. The medicines will start working fast on your body, and in no time you'll be out of that medicines. So it will give the recovery fast because the god of healing is sitting over there. Once you activate that, it starts working.